I am here today with Debbie Benko. She is one of the guest judges at the Top Tech Awards that is going to be hosted at Allegiant Stadium. She is the CEO and managing partner of Link Technologies for 22 years. What a magnificent accomplishment. She's been involved with Link Technologies and have worked her way up to become a managing partner. We're going to discuss what's happening. We're recording this about a week before the actual event so that I can spend a little bit more focused time with Debbie. So thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you for having me. It's an incredible event. I've had a lot of experience with it. I've been involved with it for many years as a judge and of course a recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award. And it's such a great event. I'm always nominating people that are deserving to receive awards, and I have someone that I've nominated that will be receiving an award this time. So I'm very, very proud of that person. And I know it's supposed to be a surprise, so don't let me say who his name is. Okay. So,
yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely not. So we could just start right from the beginning so that we have about 15 minutes. Tell everyone who is listening who Debbie Benko is.
Well, I started this business about 22 years ago, as you mentioned. I run and actively work from a staffing and consulting standpoint, primarily in the Las Vegas area, but we're also a federal contractor, and we do a lot of professional services, such as a lot of people don't know that we have a security team, QSAs, we do vulnerability assessments, pen testing all over the world. One of our biggest clients is DECA. So we carry top secret, and Q clearances here. So we work with the DoD, the DOE, and we have 12 gaming licenses. So we work with all the major gaming companies and some of the smaller ones as well here in town. So I've lived here for a long time now and really enjoy Las Vegas and the tech community here.
Wow, that is amazing. I know that the tech industry is beginning to bloom out here a little bit in some various regions outside of the Strip, which is something that we've always needed to be tourism independent. And so from people like yourself who've been contributing to the economy and the growing industry, we thank you. But even going more back from when you founded the company 22 years ago to where we are today, what do you think has been the most dramatic changes within Link Technologies and then the tech space in Las Vegas?
I'm going to say COVID. It has changed everything. It has changed how these companies are run, including my own company. We've all lost treasured and gifted people who've worked for us for many, many years, including myself. And so it was time for reinvention, time for restructuring and reinvention. And I think the fact now that we're not only in competition and the employers are not only in competition with other companies here in Las Vegas, they're in competition with people nationwide. So because so many people are now working at home and being gobbled up by the big guys for large salaries and being able to work at home. So it's been very eye-opening. There are great shortages of network engineers, systems engineers, recruiters, IT recruiters. Everybody has a need because everyone had lost people or had to have a layoff, and they're now all scrambling to catch back up and bring the right people to play. So it's been a very, very interesting time. That's the biggest challenge I've seen. I'm also starting to see that the salaries are starting to inch up. The flexibility is starting to inch up because they can't get the same quality of personnel that they were able to get before without allowing them to work offsite and getting some of those big players, especially in data analytics. Snowflake is the big thing out here, but it's been very big in the East. And so it's moving its way across the continent to Las Vegas. And so I think because some of these companies were able to restructure and take a look at things that make them more efficient, we're getting some of the higher end technologies here in Las Vegas too.
Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. What specific technologies or what sector of the technology industry do you see having the highest probability or potential of growth out here in Las Vegas?
Well, security, always security. And that's changing quite rapidly now. I mean, for instance, it's very difficult to find a SOC analyst. Who knew? They were very easy before, but again, large companies are picking them up and allowing them to work at home with high-end technologies. So it's just forcing us, more smaller individuals, to get more automation into place and be able to work at the same pace that those companies are working at. And I think that's true for even your medium to large size companies out here as well. Technical recruiters. I would give my left arm for, 10 more technical recruiters and I would be a very rich woman. But because we have over 150 requirements right now, both contract and perm, and we're not asking for more business. It's just coming in. So, I interviewed somebody the other day about account management and they were like, well, I want to do sales. So I said, no. We don't need any sales. We're good. Okay. So now it's about focus and how you participate in being focused on your favorite clients. And the same thing with the clients themselves. I mean, it's about their focus. So.
Absolutely. Do you believe that automation is going to change the way that Vegas operates? And just for a little context, I used to work on the Strip for about 10 years before in the industry, and there was a lot of fear that, robots and machine learning and all this stuff is going to overtake their positions and it's going to change Vegas. Do you think this is going to impact the Strip in a large way?
I do. But I think that people shouldn't be as afraid of it as some people are, because you're going to be retooled with different jobs, right? There's going to be new jobs to help support, the automation and to have better service. So in smaller cases, I think it could be a detriment to some types of jobs. Okay. In IT, I think it's more of a change. Okay. So for instance, if you're bringing in Snowflake, that means your EDW department is scared because they don't want to learn something new, right? And it's going to go away, right? So no, I'm not a Snowflake rep, but that's like the new thing out here right now. Very hard to find people, and so they're kind of sabotaging themselves because, well, we don't like these people, I mean, it's kind of interesting where it in a way they're making themselves more needed and more wanted out there in this new world of ours that says, hey, I can hire you in Vegas and you can stay there if you have these skills. So it's a matter of how people think about it, right?
Absolutely. And then moving a little bit towards the south end of the Strip, where we're going to be meeting in person and attending the Top Tech Awards. You mentioned that you'd been a judge for a few years. Can you give us an overview of what the event entails and then kind of the impact that you think it has on Las Vegas as a whole?
Well, I have judged several categories. I was very fortunate to win the Lifetime Achievement Award a few years ago, and it really was quite something. It's very well done, very professional. I mean, you feel very honored to have been able to have the recognition for some of the achievement of the things that you do to give back to the community, or to make technical insights and work well with community as well as with your own company. Okay, so I find it to be one of the most professional organizations I've ever dealt with. It's run very well. I actually haven't been at the Raider Stadium yet, so this will be my first time. So that's pretty impressive as well. And I mean, it's just a way for some of the top people in Las Vegas to be recognized for the hard work that they do and how they fit in with the community as well as within their companies.
How many categories of awards are there? I haven't been told beforehand. Do you remember? Can you recount them?
I think there was a change this year, and I didn't judge this year. But I believe there were 5 or 6 different categories. I mean, there's a Lifetime Achievement Award, that's the same. There's small business, there's hospitality. I mean, those are the different things that come across my mind, but there's a few others, within government, within the local government. It hits almost every sector where there's IT and new inventions and the use of those new technologies. And how people are excelling in their work in the different categories.
Yeah, technology accelerates on this like exponential curve. It's really hard to keep up with it. It's insane some of the things that happen within software and now with blockchain, and then the hospitality industry. Cybersecurity is always on the go. It's awesome to see, and I've been going to some of the Tech Alley meetups that have been happening and seeing some of these, we call them quote unquote big league companies coming down here because of whatever is tax neutral or business friendly, or however you want to complicate it. Before we wrap it up, what is the primary objective of Link Technologies moving forward, and what are some of your expectations over the next few years in terms of growth of the company?
Actually, we see growth of about $5 million just in the next year alone, which will put us up to 23 million. We'll still be considered a small business. So that is what we see coming. But the growth is across many different areas. I mean, I just started a new division that's strictly focused on perms. Okay, so permanent jobs, because that's the big thing right now. After COVID, once they get the budget to hire back in people, they're hiring a lot of people with these new technology skills because they've regrouped, and so that's a big deal. We have a managed services department. We expect that to triple in size. We've already seen that happen in just the last 6 months. Managed services has been a very hot commodity, especially for small to medium-sized companies, and those are the ones that we generally go after because they don't have, a technical staff. Just in services in general, we do some professional services that have to do with security, governance, risk. All of that is growing quite rapidly. We've gotten back into kind of like a modified, what they call RPO, recruitment process outsourcing. So we have a client in Texas. We have looking like 2 new clients here in Las Vegas to come in and help them recruit the types of people that they need, and then provide them consultants on an as needed basis. So I do see a lot of growth. We will be opening an office in Texas within the next 6 months. Our Denver office is starting to take off quite well. And so I just see a lot of growth from an expansion standpoint as well, which helps us to bring more people into Las Vegas because we're working in those areas and we have those relationships with those people and we're able to pull them into Nevada. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. We're all on the same track. We're also passionate about our city, and we know it's one of the most diverse, and it's going to be one of the greatest cities here in the near future. For all those who have been watching, where do I send them to follow you or learn more about Link Technologies? Debbie B at Link Tech Consulting is my email. www.linktechconsulting.com is our website. Although it is going through some changes right now. Thankfully, after 7 years, it's been way overdue. And the phone number here is 702-233-8703. And I welcome talking to anyone. We do also support a couple other nonprofits. So if you're interested in getting involved in CyberSmart NV, it's about giving back information and help to the community, as well as small businesses, as well as educate people who want to get involved in cybersecurity. Absolutely beautiful. All right, Debbie, thank you for sharing your time with us. I will see you next week. I am sitting here with Mr. Mike Rainey. He is guest judge number 2 on the show. I'm excited to first have this conversation, then meet you in person next week. Mike is the corporate regional IT manager at Beasley Media Group. And from what I have heard right beforehand, he is a previous winner from the Top Tech Awards out here in Las Vegas. So Mike, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Jake. I appreciate it. Yes, I won last year the Top Tech Award for 2020 for public company. It was very appreciated very much. So this year I got to be a judge, and I'm looking forward to the award show. It should be very exciting.
Yeah, especially at Allegiant Stadium. Like this, the stadium is doing so much for the city outside of just the Raiders. It makes us feel like a little bit more of a community than just a entertainment town. But yes. We'll start all the way from the beginning. And just like I talked with Debbie right beforehand, tell us who Mike Rainey is. Tell us a little bit of details about you and how you got into the tech space.
Let's see. I grew up in Jersey. Then I joined the Navy. Spent 6 years in the Navy doing analytical chemistry and radiological controls, believe it or not. From there, I transitioned into manufacturing, but I always had a passion for computers. So I went to school to get my Microsoft certifications. And that was about 1998 or so. And from there, I was able to get a job doing field service with multifunction copiers and medical dictation systems, which then progressed to being an IT manager for a radio station group in PA. I moved to Las Vegas in 2012. Got a job working for a retirement fund group for about a year, and then actually got to work for Google as a vendor for 3 years, doing customer service support for several platforms for Google, and then was hired on by Beasley about 6 years ago to be local IT support. And this past June, I was promoted to corporate IT, basically doing full admin work. I basically handle every single email account for the entire company nationwide, and some of the other software platforms that we use on a daily basis.
That
It's my
is
responsibility to make sure all of the user accounts are set up correctly, and we can pass our auditing and that stuff, because we're a publicly traded company.
So Mike is a busy man and
Yes.
behind the scenes doing all of the admin work. Can you give us a little bit of an explanation what exactly media or Beasley Media Group does, and then what if there was anything specific that they did to assist them in winning the award last year, and yourself?
Well, Beasley Media Group is a national radio broadcast company, but we also, it's like I said, it's a media company. We do online streaming, we do website advertising, things like that. But the core of our business is radio stations, terrestrial radio stations. We operate over 80 stations nationwide. We operate 5 here in Las Vegas, and so there's the public service aspect of it, with local programming and news, weather, traffic, things like that we provide to the community for free on their radios. And then obviously we provide a platform for businesses to advertise and make sure that they can thrive by letting the customers know they're there, and what they sell, and getting people in the doors. It's a symbiotic relationship that we have with just about every business in the community. So it's an exciting business to be in. I did radio for 8 years back east, and I took a 4-year break, and I couldn't wait to get back into it when I moved out here. And I'm glad it only took me 4 years before I was able to get back into it, because there's no other industry I'd rather work in than radio. It's a lot of fun.
Wow. So with a lot of the emerging communication technologies like this podcast that we're having, and Twitter Spaces, and a lot of these different audio sources, do you think that radio, like some people like to say, is done for? Or how do you think that they're going to evolve and integrate with all of these openly accessible voice technologies?
It's a great question. And we've been evolving all along. Radio is still one of the #1 ways that people get their information, even in some cases, even more than newspaper. And even with TV, obviously there's so many choices, but everybody's got a radio in their car. And the programming that we provide is varied. We are also doing podcasts. We have internet streaming, so that even if you're not in Vegas, you can still listen to your favorite Vegas station if you want to over the internet on your phone, or your computer. We're driving very hard into the digital space with digital advertising and streaming and things like that. So we're right there with everybody else on the cutting edge as far as I go. HD radio, basically with an HD radio, you can have one station that has 2 or 3 channels with different content. So the content's there for everybody to grab, and that makes us very competitive.
seems like it's inevitable that many of these like conglomerates, whether it's a tech conglomerate or financial conglomerate or a radio conglomerate, we're all just going to merge and just be a house of all of these different technologies. Do you agree?
I mean, there's definitely a push that way. One of the things that I like about working with Beasley is they do give their individual markets a lot of control over their content. We have a lot of reign in as far as what music we play and what content we have, because we need to play to our market. Las Vegas is not the same as Detroit, is not the same as Tampa, is not the same as Boston. So you have to be able to have that flexibility to provide what those users want to make sure you can get that market share. So in that respect, I think we're a little bit ahead of the game as far as making sure that we can provide for our customers versus that one size fits all approach that a lot of these big companies are trying to take to streamline their bottom line. And but I think when they do that, they kind of miss the point sometimes and don't always cater to their customer base the way they should.
Right. It's like putting a square peg in a round hole, so to speak. What would you say then is the dominant audio consumption? I wouldn't say source, but genre in Las Vegas. Is it audio? Is it a conversational consumption? Is it a certain music genre? Is there anything that Vegas tends to prefer?
I'll be totally honest with you. I'm not sure, because that's not really my side of things. I make sure that whatever people want to listen to gets on the air. But we have the programming directors and the on-air personalities that are the ones that actually make those decisions and make that happen. And I'm not really on the marketing side of it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I know talk radio is still a fairly popular option. We have a lot of some of the shows that we have on our talk radio station are some of the highest rated in the nation. So obviously that's something that people want and are looking for. And our country music station I know is ranked fairly high, and we have a 80s and 90s station that also does very well in the ratings. So it's but like I said, this is a very eclectic town. We've got people from everywhere. No one's from Vegas per se, so you're gonna see a varied palette of what people want. And
Yes.
we try to do the best we can to provide those options.
Yes, I say this is so often on my podcast that Vegas is the most diverse city in the country, maybe in the world, and not just culturally, but economically, entertainment, politically. We have a pretty much something for everybody from whatever spectrum you decide that you want to be on. But let's take a magnifying glass and let's hang it over Mike Rainey and we can identify what makes you so different to win the award last year in the position that you were in that set you apart from the rest of your competition.
I think a lot of it had to do with the scope of what I had to do. We have 5 stations that we need to keep on the air 24/7. It's a lot of technology. There's transmitters, there's computers, the connections between the building and where the transmitters are. We have transmitters up on mountains that don't even have electricity. They run on generators. So it's a lot of plates to keep spinning. And I didn't do it by myself. I have a great team, our chief engineer, the on-air staff that, do the content. It's a team effort. But for me personally, I show up every day and I make sure that everything that has to be done gets done. Everybody gets their email account set up. They can log in, they can access the information they need, they can get into the financial system so we can bill our customers and create that revenue. And I just every day it's I got to make this work, because if people can't work, then we don't thrive, we don't succeed. So I need to make sure that I do my job so everybody else, literally everybody else in the company, can do their jobs.
Yeah, and we thank you for that service. I was a massive radio consumer for a long time until some of the new sources came on. And now let's swing it around, and we'll go to the south side of the strip, to the place that we're going to be hanging out next week, which is Allegiant Stadium. And this is the first time that the Top Tech Awards have been held at Allegiant Stadium. What was your experience like last year at the awards show, and how do you think being at Allegiant Stadium is going to change the energy in the air?
Last year, the award show was at Allegiant
Oh, it
Stadium,
was.
but it was virtual. So
Technicals.
only the presenters were there, and so it was everybody else was on, everything else was on Zoom. The people were announced, but as the winners, we couldn't make speeches or anything like that. So it was awesome, but actually being there and being able to be at the show and see the people and see the reactions, I think it's going to be an amazing experience. And Allegiant Stadium itself, it's a technological marvel. It's brand new essentially still. There's a ton of technology in that building. Cox has done a great job of making sure it's viable now and viable in the future for whatever kind of events are going to be in there. And I think it's going to be a wild ride, actually being able to go in the stadium and see firsthand how, kind of how the nuts and bolts of an award show come together. Because you watch stuff on, it's one thing to watch the Oscars or the SAG Awards or whatever on TV. It's another thing to be a part of the process and then see the people who you looked at, you scrutinize their lives and assign numbers to their achievements to see what happens, and watch them accept the award in person. It's gonna be wild.
It is going to be very exciting to me. I've been there a handful of times, but to be on the field and to be not necessarily a fan, but to be a part of an event there is completely different. And so before we get out of here and conclude this interview, I'm curious on what are you excited about in the technology space in Vegas moving forward, and also the radio industry that you are part of?
I think 5G rollout will be interesting. It will provide some interesting opportunities for some new technologies. Even for us, there's some different things that we can do when there's that much speed and bandwidth available to everybody in town. Radio, like I said, we're pushing really hard in the digital space to be relevant and to compete with websites and podcasts and all that good stuff. While I don't, there's nothing really specific that I know of working on the horizon. It's just we know that doing the same old thing year after year is not going to cut it. Beasley is a very forward vision company. And we actually we own two esports teams, and so we're right there in the front. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens. And this town is probably more technology in it than most other places because of all the entertainment and the casinos and everything. So it's chances are you're going to see it here first before it goes anywhere else, and that's kind of cool.
Agreed. A radio station a radio company that owns esports teams. That's very forward thinking, as we know. I've also met a handful of friends who have been making a living just commentating on esports, almost like Al Michaels' comments on Monday Night Football. Like very similar identity.
It's a brave new world.
That it is. Mike, where can I send everybody who's listening to this to follow you, reach out to you on the internet, and then also get involved with Bensley Media Group? Beasley, my apologies.
No, it's fine. It's our main website is bbgi.com. There you'll be able to see all of the stations that we have and listen to any of the stations we have live all over the country. I am on LinkedIn as Michael Rainey. But I'll be honest, in that respect, I am kind of a Luddite. I don't do social media a lot. So I don't have a Twitter or an Instagram or anything like that. But check out bbgi.com. And we've got a lot of exciting stuff going on. And like I said, we have our local stations. We have 1027 coyotecountry.com. We have 98 93kklz.com. We have jammin1057.com. We have star1079.com. We have kdawn.com. So check out our stations. Everything could stream live. We got tons of news and articles about stuff that's going on in town on a daily basis.
Boom, you are covering it. Well, Mike, thank you for sharing your time with us. I will see you on Wednesday. All right, guys, I am here with Blake. He is the first winner out here at the Top Tech Awards for the startup category. Blake, tell us a little bit about your company and how long you've been working on this project.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started a company called Brink Drones. So we build technology in the service of public safety, starting with a small quadcopter designed to give first responders eyes and ears, places to the interested person.
That is beautiful. Drones are absolutely taking off. That sector is blowing up. There's so much utility to it. What are your plans with these drones moving forward over the next few years?
I mean, long term, we want to make the police helicopter obsolete and bring global emergency response times to seconds. So that's very much the express goal.
Beautiful. And talking a little bit more about the tech scene out here in Las Vegas, what is your perception of the tech scene and where do you see it going over the long term?
Yeah, sure. I mean, small but growing is the answer in Las Vegas. So, we're a strong community and more engineers are moving here, especially from places like California and LA where they're maybe getting priced out or want better living conditions. So it's early days, but I expect considerable growth in the short-term future.
And one final question for you.
Yeah.
What does Las Vegas mean to you?
I mean, it's my hometown, so it means a lot to me. I mean, I grew up here, I went to school here, went to UNLV, and yeah, I mean, this is my home. So happy to be building a company here.
Another Las Vegas natives, as you guys know, I'm all about the natives out here. Blake, where do I send everyone to follow you along your journey or learn more?
Yeah, so brinkdrones.com is great, BRINC drones.com. We have Instagram, Facebook, all the usual suspects, so that would be the spot.
Congratulations, Blake.
Thanks
you
a ton.
are going to make it out here. We're going to keep going on with the show, and we'll catch you guys out in a second. I'm here with Ian. He is the winner of the small private SMB category. Ian, tell us a little bit about the award and the project and company that you're working on.
Yeah, so I work with the Pinta Building Group. We're one of the largest general contractors in Southern Nevada. The project that I got awarded for was really redeveloping our internal system, which we've dubbed the core. It's our intranet that a lot of our employees use for resources, and especially in light of the COVID pandemic, a lot of remote resources.
Wow. You're going to have to give me a little bit more explanation. Internet, what is that?
Yeah, so the intranet is basically an internal page that any of our employees can access. It's their one-stop shop for trainings, for employee resources, for videos, for all the things that they really need to do their job. And again, especially in light of the pandemic, we had half of our workforce working from home, so it really enabled them to do their jobs from home a lot easier.
You're a hero within the company and for Las Vegas. Tell me a little bit, what is your perspective on the tech scene out here in Las Vegas?
Oh, I think it's amazing. Especially the startup scene. We just saw the drone fella. That was some amazing technology. But it's interesting because I think Vegas is growing with technology in that, 20 years ago, the tech people were, kind of set aside in the back office and, the IT cave, if you will, but now it's really the forefront. This event right here is a perfect example of that. We're recognizing the business aspects of IT. I think a lot of companies in Vegas are tech forward and are pushing their IT people to the forefront of the company.
Where is IT projected to go pertinent to Las Vegas in the future?
Oh man, so I guess pertinent to Vegas, we're all about growth, right? So there's more and more people moving to the state, moving to the city. I think infrastructure is going to be huge. I think the Switch data center and projects like that are really empowering not only for more people to be, connected in the community, but for more businesses to move here and, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, be able to utilize the tech talent that is moving here because of those companies.
Yeah, Switch is such a pivotal point for Las Vegas. Where do I send all the listeners to follow you, your business, or anything you'd like to mention?
Yeah, absolutely. Please go to thebentabuildinggroup.com. We also have, a very heavy social presence. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those things. Also, really check out pintacares.org. It's our charitable arm. We do a whole lot of things in the community. You can check out all of our charitable events. We were just on Fox 5 redoing some veterans' homes and things like that. So chances are you don't have to find us. We'll find you. We're in the media all the time. So
Ian, congratulations, brother.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
thanks, man.
Thank you. Award winner number 3. I'm here with Harvan. He's the award winner of the private business category. Thank you, Harvan.
Thank you for having me. So honored, so humble to be here.
Tell me a little bit about your award and the project you've been working on.
Private, large category, Vegas Golden Knights, the hockey team. We also have a minor league hockey team, the Silver Knights, and we are recently going to get into indoor football. Our owner is very into bringing sports into the community right now. He's looking to expand and move on, so just grateful to be with him and his organization. It's been such an honor and such a pleasure to be with the Golden Knights, the Silver Knights, so happy to be here.
And what exactly are you doing within these sports franchises that are emerging out in Las Vegas?
Sure, so I'm the lead system admin. I'm in charge of all hockey operations, building operations. Recently I've been assigned the owner's newest stadium in Henderson. He's building a 6,000-seater stadium for events to come in and some of his teams to play. I'm in charge of project management for the tech, everything that comes in, and what drives me, to be honest, is the fan experience. I like to put myself as a fan first, a tech second, and run with that and just try to give the fans the best, awesome sports entertainment experience they could have via technology.
As we know, the Golden Knights are one of the main reasons why we have the brand Vegas Strong. Harvan, where do I send everybody to follow you?
I'm usually just on LinkedIn, so if you look up Harvan Chavez on LinkedIn, come on and join my network. I'd be happy to be a part of your network.
Thank you, Harvan.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
I'm here with Cam. He is the winner of the education category out here in Las Vegas. Cam, tell me a little bit on what you're working with education and technology. That's a massive crossroad.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Great question. At the UNLV School of Medicine, we're all about innovation. We have a new building opening up, the medical education building, that is just going to be an amazing contribution to this community in helping us graduate future doctors. So it's great to be part of something that's doing something for this community that it really needs, which is more medical professionals.
Yep, and the School of Medicine has opened recently, and it's one of the reasons why we moved up to a Tier 1 research facility. How do you see the School of Medicine growing over the next, we'll say, decade?
I can't even begin to speculate because it's we have 60 students now. We're going to grow to more. We have a lot of our students that are moving into the residency, staying in the valley, and so I think really the contribution we're going to make is just more doctors in this valley, and it's great that a lot of our students, almost all of our students up to this point, have all been strong Vegas connections, and so just these folks coming back to Vegas, contributing, getting their medical education, then going back out into the valley, and just filling a need that we have that otherwise wouldn't be met.
And Vegas is one of the only cities in the United States that has 2 trauma centers that are one of the best in the city. Cam, where do I send everyone to follow you along your journey, or any links you'd like to mention?
I visit the School of Medicine website, honestly. UNLV, we're part of UNLV. We're really proud of the things we're doing for this community. And visit the UNLV website, visit the School of Medicine website. Take a look at UNLV Medicine as well, which is our practice side of the house. We have a lot of really great physicians and staff that would love to help with your medical needs.
Yeah, as a kinesiology alumni of UNLV, I thank you and congratulate you
thank you
as
very
well.
much.
Thank you again,
Appreciate
Cam.
it.
I'm here with Dennis. He just won the award for technology and government. Dennis, tell me a little bit on how you're merging those 2 crossroads out here in Las Vegas.
Well, the first part that we've done is we really updated a lot of our systems, but the thing we take pride in is how we were able to stand up a COVID vaccination sites so quickly in response to what our council and our mayor's vision was. And as we continue to update work from home and allow our employees to remote work and continue along that path, it's been a really exciting journey.
Yeah. Outside of COVID, Nevada and Las Vegas specifically has put an emphasis on trying to build economic diversity outside of hospitality, and that's where you come in this intersection. Where do you see technology and government growing out here in Las Vegas?
It really needs to grow towards digital equity, right? And we need to span that digital divide that we currently have. There's a lot of residents out there that are underprivileged and don't have the access to that. And it's our job as a government to make sure that they are able to have access to those resources that we're putting online. Just because we put them online doesn't mean they can access them, right? So we're going above and beyond, empowering our libraries to be able to give out devices that will empower our residents to be able to use those online services.
Yeah, absolutely. Library of Alexandria in our hands, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dennis, where do I send everyone to get in touch with you on social media or any links you'd like to mention?
So on LinkedIn, I'm on Dennis Moriarty. You can find me there. cityofnorthlasvegas.com is our website for the city. So that's where I'm at.
Congratulations, Dennis. You're pushing the city forward, and we appreciate you for doing that. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm here with Chris. He just won the award for technology in the nonprofit world. Chris, what exactly are you doing to merge the nonprofit and tech world out here in Las Vegas?
Well, it first starts with building a capable team, okay, and those capable people come in with passion every day. So they see opportunities, and in fact, when we had to close our career centers, we no longer could provide support to our clients. So my lead software developer calmly walks in and goes, I can spin up a website. They can sign up for services, and then they can get additional training that we've curated with our amazing mission team. And then finally, he tied it into our Salesforce backend so we can track everything and provide those measurables that'll continue to get us that funding we need to lower those barriers for job seekers.
Absolutely. That's something that we need out here in Las Vegas. There's a lot of people who aren't going back to work. Where do you see the growth of the nonprofit sector and technology over the next handful of years in Las Vegas?
Well, I really wish there wasn't a need for us, right? I mean, I think you read in the newspapers all the time, not just the scarcity of education options for certain populations, but you also see things like inflation, right? You see everything getting priced out. And thanks to these donations that we receive from the general public, we're able to not just give a good deal to an end user or family, we're able to take that money and employ someone. We're able to take that money and reinvest it in our mission. We are incredibly focused on, when you give us a donation, squeezing out every piece of value. So we don't just sell it in stores. We'll sell it in salvage. We'll sell it back to Dell. We do digital recycling. We even have online initiatives. All of this is to squeeze out that value to maximize what we can do for the people in our valley.
Can you give me a brief description of what digital recycling is? That's something that caught my attention.
So digital recycling, as you know, you all bring your old computers, your laptops, your cameras to us. And we treat that as an honor. We do try to repurpose it for our team members, and there were times we even sold it, but the reality is we protect your data, we wipe it, we then recycle it for general reuse. So we partner with Dell and a company called Dynamic Recycling, and again, it's just another way to stretch that dollar. While we do that, we also have interns in that help with the demanufacturing and the building of these tools that we deploy in our company. So it's stretching a value. Instead of making technology this disposable commodity, rather it's this long-term tool that we can yield value of, not just in its use, but its reuse.
Wow, that is such a great explanation. Where do I send all of the listeners to follow you on social media and get in touch with everything that you're working on?
Okay, so even though I'm the director of IT, I don't really have a presence yet, so I will make my first post tomorrow on LinkedIn about this award and my pride at working at Goodwill.
Ooh, good.
So where you can go is goodwill.vegas. You can read about us and the great work that we do, and I'm glad I could share this with you all. I love working there.
It's the largest nonprofit out here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris, for everything that you do. And
real
Goodwill.
pleasure.
Big fan of everything. Thank you.
Great job.
I'm here with Sonal. She is in the industry that runs Las Vegas. Sonal won the award for the merger of technology in the hotel and gaming industry. Sonal, tell us a little bit about what you do and the award that you've received.
I have received the award for the Top Tech Award in Hotel and Gaming. What I do at IGT is I'm the Director of Delivery and Support in the casino systems space. So my team goes out and delivers and installs and configures all the products that IGT creates, and then the second half of the team supports these products and these customers.
Wow, yeah, IGT is one of the largest companies out here in Las Vegas. Tell us a little bit about what IGT does as well.
IGT is the market leader in the casino gaming space, lottery, play digital, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So IGT has been around for many, many decades, has been a standard in Las Vegas, we're in Reno, we're in London, we're basically all over the world, and we're the market leaders in this space.
Absolutely. I love everything that IGT does. Sonal, tell us a little bit about where we could follow you on social media and learn more about IGT.
I am on Twitter at Sonal Chabnani, and I'm on LinkedIn. And that's about it.
Absolutely. Sonal, thank you again. Congratulations
Thank
on
you
your
very
award.
much.
What's up, guys? I'm here with John Swat. He just won the award for technology in the healthcare industry.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I've been in the industry for last 25 years in IT and developing technology and stuff. And last, when COVID started, and I see there was a big problem with the lab management system. And we created a small one to help Las Vegas, but we end up going cross national and then international within a year and a half. And we are like a multi-million-dollar company. Within a year and a half, we have
I scaled that fast, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, absolutely.
Yes,
So now that COVID's coming to an end, how do you plan to transition your business into the next frontier?
This is a next generation system we built. Everything is changed now. Everything is a change now because people can able to test themselves. Go to the lab, doesn't have to go to the doctor. So our software will continue to enhance not just only COVID. It'll be like home testing, any kind of
like
allergy testing, disease tracking, any room testing or anything. So we'll continue to grow because it's a next generation system. And every lab wanted to transition into the next generation, able to get out of the legacy system, which is it doesn't work. It's completely failed.
Yeah, sickness, disease, infection, it's all on everybody's radar.
Exactly.
It's not going away. You have to be on the frontier.
Yeah, now with the employers and stuff, they need to be able to have real time, more access rather than just waiting for doctor to call and all this stuff. So our system is a real time. All that reporting and testing and all that with the coming from the lab, coming from the patient. We deliver reports about 6 to 8 hours, 4 hours some of them, and we work with a very enterprise customers in Hollywood and a lot of here in UFC one of our customers, and so
tell us where we could find you on social media and get involved with your business.
I think you can just type in our company name and Gomera. We are the only.
How do you spell Gomera?
Gomeyra.
Okay.
So we are the only company has a press release done every month. Every month we have press release because we have always big announcement to make, and the way we was grown is just crazy. Still, it's not stopped yet.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Well deserving.
Appreciate
it. I'm here with Chakisha. She is the winner of the Community Exemplary Award in the technology space. What exactly does that mean?
Awesome. Well, can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So Community Exemplary is essentially a recognition for the community work that I've done, not only in the tech community, but in the community at large. I've worked in the tech industry now for over 7 years, and a big part of the work that we do is helping talent find jobs, particularly freelance talent. And I made a commitment that in addition to helping this talent find work, that I would also give back to my community, no matter where my business took me in the entrepreneurial space. So I've been really fortunate to work with some great organizations. As a member of the Junior League of Las Vegas, I've really been able to connect with so many organizations, many in the tech industry, many outside. We actually just provided thousands of dollars in education grants to some educators in the city who are working on STEM projects. So it's been really great. It's been great to give back, it's been great to be of service while building my my business.
Junior League is really putting out a lot of leaders in the city. I've had many Junior League members on the podcast over the years. What is your favorite part about contributing to the community of Las Vegas?
I think really working with the youth it's very rewarding. Seeing the difference that we make just by taking time to be there to help them, particularly during the pandemic when a lot of these children were displaced or in very challenging situations. Being able to give back and to help them in these times was just really, really moving.
It really is. It's Vegas is a very diverse place from all over the city. Where do I send all of the viewers and listeners to learn more about you and get affiliated with all of the things that you're doing out here in Las Vegas?
Awesome. Well, you can visit me at castango.com. My website also chakisha.com. And you can reach me at info@castango.com for additional connectivity, and through the Junior League of Las Vegas, jllv.org. That's a lot of websites. But
how do we spell Castango?
It's Castango.
Absolutely. Congratulations again.
Thank you
a big
so much.
contributor to Las Vegas. We need a lot more of you out here in the city, so thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I'm here with Jason Stump, also a big player in the game and changing the game out here in the hospitality industry. Jason, tell us how you are merging technology in the hospitality industry.
Yeah, so we're delivering great guest experiences, and that's what we're doing, and that's what Wynn is all about, Wynn Resorts. Everything we do is about the guest. All of our technology that we come up with is to make the guest experience, it's luxury. So.
Yeah, Wynn is always on the frontier and cutting edge of technology, but also taking care of the employees and the city of Las Vegas, as we saw with the pandemic, paying the employees and the locals. What is the future of technology in Wynn Resorts look like?
Yeah, so we have some great technology. We're deploying a lot of new digital updates. So over the next 12 months, you're going to see a significant amount of going mobile for our customers and lessening the friction of our guests visiting our integrated resort.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm somebody who worked in the casino industry for 10 years as well. Love to see mobile internet communities, the merger of fintech and everything like that. That's just the next upgraded feature, and it cuts a lot of that friction out there. Jason, where do we follow you on social media, and where would you like to direct the audience to learn more about Wynn Resorts?
Yeah, so anybody can go to winresorts.com, and you can follow me on LinkedIn. I post frequently about all of our innovation that we're doing at Wynn Resorts, and about my community involvement as well.
Hey, we got a LinkedIn pioneer out here in Las Vegas. Jason, congratulations. Love Wynn Resort. Also love my XS friends as well.
Yeah, come visit us.
All right, I'm here with Dan. He is the award winner in the Cox Innovation, also one of the sponsors of this bright event. Dan, how is it going today?
Oh, it's going fantastic.
Tell us a little bit about what you've contributed to Cox to innovate this company that is already a leader in the country.
Yeah, so, during the COVID phase, when it was just hitting the Las Vegas market and pretty much the entire country, PPE or personal protective equipment, right, was just being consumed everywhere you went. So what we had to do was basically it was just floating out of the hospitals. So we created a solution within 2 days that basically lifted up and it started tracking where all that PPE was going. And by doing that, it allowed our supply chain to then supply the hospitals with the appropriate PPE they needed, whether it was masks, goggles, the surgery masks, anything they needed was tracked, and then they could see who was using it, and they could also resupply it as they needed.
Yeah, so Cox is really stepping out of their traditional day-to-day job, you could say, and really being a contributing member to the city of Las Vegas.
Yes, and so just their national network they provided 100% uptime of the services we needed to host that website and provide it to the hospitals.
It's amazing. So outside of this, what else do you contribute to Cox as a whole in general?
So I'll tell you, I've been a customer for 23 years. I don't know if that matters, but they strongly believe in their infrastructure. The fact that all of our employees went home almost all of them, actually probably all of them, connected via the Cox network. We're through virtual private network, back to the office, had no downtime. Cox provides a great service.
Yeah, they're a leader. They give me the fastest internet so I can have very fast times for my live streams and for the podcast as well.
Oh, I bet.
How do you feel about Las Vegas? What is your favorite part about the city, Zol?
So I will tell you, I was born and raised here.
Me too. Right here.
Yeah. So I've seen the town grow from 50,000 to over 2 million now, I believe. And it's just fabulous how this town has turned into a sports town. You know, we have the Knights, the Raiders, the Aviators, and just UNLV hopefully is coming back. I just love this town.
Yeah.
And just the weather. You know, you can't beat the weather. There's no bugs. There's no humidity. Las Vegas is a great place to be.
Any foresight on the future of the technology industry out here in Las Vegas?
So it's amazing. You get to see all the gaming companies come into town. I've seen that growth with IGT, with there's so many others, and you're starting with Aristocrat, and you know all these places they're developing houses and they're developing the games in house. You're seeing the growth there, and then I'm also a member of the Software Developer Network here in town, and we've grown in the last 3 years. We've grown from roughly 20 developers to I think now we're over 300 developers in town in Vegas, where Vegas is not known as a tech hub, right? That's pretty incredible. And especially we don't do any marketing. It's all word of mouth. And it's growing beyond like leaps and bounds. It's just amazing.
The tech scene out here in Las Vegas is emerging. We're finally seeing the opportunity of bridging off of that tourism dependency. And it's all because of people like yourself and the people that are out here winning awards and contributing, and of course running on the high speed of Cox.
Yes.
Where do I send all of the listeners and viewers who want to follow you on social media and learn more about Cox and all of the affiliations?
So I don't have I only have my personal page. I doubt people want to see me drinking beer at a Vegas Golden Knights game.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, my friend.
Yeah, but so I don't have a place to share.
Hey, you're all good. Dan,
Okay.
appreciate you. Congratulations
Thank you so much.
on the award again, and give me a discount for the internet.